We're good. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not a joke. What if I had a strategy that's working now, will work tomorrow and the day after, and it works on every single earnings name that gaps up, and it has phenomenal consistency? No, there's no strings attached. We're going to show you exactly what it is, the AK minus 50, how it works, how the strategy works, how it worked on this week's earnings plays, and how I'm expecting it to work for tomorrow's earnings plays as well. I think it might be the easiest way to make money. I am Mark Melnick. This is the Newsbeat Show. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Newsbeat Show. What if there was a strategy that really worked right now? I know everyone likes to prove it on Wall Street, and they'll show you a million examples of every single chart that they handpicked from a large group of names to show you that would work. And they build up your confidence in the situation, and then you try the trade, and when you try it, there's no consistency behind it. Now, what if there was a trade? What if there was a strategy for these trades that worked every time this week? Like every time, like every single time. And it's likely going to work on a couple of the gap up names tomorrow, like Ollie's Bargain Basement. Yeah, I know. Try to say that three times fast. Like an Ollie's Bargain Basement, which is gapped up over 6 points, almost $7 right now. Or a simple Dave and Buster's, which is up about 77 cents. What if there was a strategy to take advantage of every single one of these names that gapped up tomorrow on the intraday basis? We're going to share with you our agenda today, and we're going to do a little bit of a revisit at the AK negative 50 reversal play. And we're going to explain to you how to do it. We're going to show you how easy it is to do it and how anybody can do it using, the right chart patterns. Again, it uses what's called the Kaufman efficiency ratio. You have access to that on TC2000. I know people were using it on different platforms, but let me show you a strategy right now that's going to work, whether you love me, whether you want to, have a beer with me, or whether you don't like the way I look. Believe me, sometimes I have to get up in the morning and I brush my teeth and I'm in front of a mirror and I have to do like one of those doozies. Bad face day. Very painful. But let's get right into it. The AK negative 50 strategy. Very simple. I'm going to break it down for you even simpler than this. You basically choose an earnings name that gaps up. I say on the Newsbeat live list because I'm sure it could work on a name that trades like 20, 30, 40,000 shares a day. I don't want to focus on those names. I'm looking for names that do millions of shares a day. So those are the names that you could focus on if you're not in the Newsbeat live room, which again, you have 3 days of free unfettered access to our service. You can click a link in the description if you are interested in free access. But let's just get right into the strategy. So right here is the strategy. All I am showing you here, and I'm just going to even remove the removing averages here. I just want to remove everything. I just want to show you simple candlesticks. I even removed volume, which is actually not an important factor in this strategy. So I'm just dumbing down these charts for you so you could see them on a very obvious basis. Now, on Monday morning, the biggest name that reported was Thor. That's Tango Harry Oscar. Just show you it on the daily real quick. Um, you know, Stock gapped up pretty big, and let's go ahead and take a look at it on a 5-minute chart. So basically, you're starting the day on a 5-minute chart on the day that a stock reports earnings. Actually, this one gapped down, not up, right? December 10th, yeah, that one gapped down. So that one actually wouldn't be a factor. See, just to show you that I'm not sitting here, cherry picking these names. So the ones that reported, I guess we could go to the ones that reported today. Easy. See? Look, I'm not even cherry picking. I even picked a name that didn't even gap up just to show you. I'm not trying to cherry pick examples here. Stitch Fix, one of the bigger names that reported today. So I'm on the names that gapped up today. I'm going to go through Stitch Fix, Mongo, and AutoZone. Those are the biggest names I saw that gapped up. If there are any other names that reported earnings either Monday evening or Tuesday morning, share them with me. So this is what you're looking for. You're looking at the bottom here, this Kaufman efficiency ratio, and on TC2000 and free stock chart, so everyone has access to it. Free stock charts are free. I do have a paid version, which gives me real-time data. I wouldn't suggest, being professional on a free version. But right over here, you see something when you click this little green plus sign called Kaufman efficiency ratio, and that is basically what this is over here. Don't worry about the fancy names. The truth is, it doesn't matter if you could call it Susan if it makes you sleep better at night. It doesn't matter. You're here for consistency. Here's Stitch Fix today. Now, if you're just wondering where this is coming from, I was looking at a day, banging my head. There were some very quick trades today. There was some hog chatter. There was Citron bashing Peloton. Peloton and Citron sort of rhyme. So Andrew Left came out and bashed that. Um, I made I made some money on the hog. There was IBM chatter, which I bypassed. There was Know Your Limit 21 trade on Mongo that I think I lost like $315 on. And there was like a triple Q trade that I lost like $30 on. And I think I was up, whatever, 1500 to 1700, somewhere along that zone today, thanks to one idea. But that's not the point. I felt trading sucked today. I don't want to say disappointed with the way I traded because I wasn't. I want to say that when trading gets to the point where it just feels like you're sitting there and you're looking at the market, it makes me want to figure out something. It makes me want to figure out something. And this is what I figured out. So if you just take this Kaufman efficiency ratio, the trick is here, right over here. You have to wait for the first time the stock closes a candle at a negative 50 level or less, hence why it's called the AK negative 50. And let's just go ahead and go through that. So right over here, you could look on the bottom here, and if you look at that little box where it says ER14, that's the Kaufman efficiency ratio. And you see it right here, 84. You see the numbers like dropping. It's positive. It's like in the 50s right now in the 40s. You're waiting for that golden number in the top left. You see it right here at negative 22. If you could see there in the top left, we're waiting for it to get to negative 50. And it doesn't get it here even. It gets negative 49.39, misses it. You ignore it. It goes all the way down to negative 50 for the first time right over here between 2:25 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. today for the first time. After that happens, you go to step 4 of the strategy. So what I did was I chose an earnings name, which was Stitch Fix. I added the efficiency ratio in which I showed you. Then I waited for the stock to close a candle at negative 50 or less. The next step is to buy through the next 5-minute candle, which breaks a prior 5-minute candle high, with setting a stop below. This strategy actually comes with a very hard stop. Set a stop at the low of that prior 5-minute candle, which you used to buy through, and take your profits. It's a very simple strategy, and I'm actually going to draw it out for you and show you its efficacy because I was a little, you know, I was looking at my strategies today, and I thought to myself, why wasn't I doing this? So I'm going to just pull up a little Microsoft Paint here so I can draw for you. And this happened today. We're not showing you any nonsense. Right over here for the first time at the bottom there, you actually hit the negative 50 for the first time right over there. And as you can see, right over here is the negative 50 line. Look on the right hand side, just could draw it through here. This one over here actually missed. Remember, it hit negative 49, so it looks like it hit there, and it would have worked if you bought here, right? But it didn't. This is actually the first time it broke negative 50, which was actually, you could just literally draw it right up over here. So right up over here was the first time a candle literally hit the negative 50. So the trick is at this point is we're just going to zoom in for you, okay? Because I want you to be able to see. So that is the candle where the AK negative 50 hit. So what's happening right now is you are actually buying on this candle. We'll put it in blue. This is your buy candle. That's your buy candle. And you're literally buying on that candle right over here, like at the top there as the top breaks. And you are setting your stop right at the bottom of that candle right here. So the blue is your buy point, and the red line here is literally your, in obnoxiously large letters, stop. Now, it doesn't look like much. It wasn't. I know it wasn't. But the bottom line is this. If you actually took that trade right over here, there was zero pain in it to the upside. Just to now show you the chart again, you're buying through 46 cents right here with a stop of 33 cents. You're risking 13 cents on Stitch Fix, and the stock climbed as high as 76 cents at the top point. The worst you could have lost was 13 if you got stopped out. The most you could have made, the absolute most, was 30 cents. And numerically, mathematically, it sounds good. But honestly, you make 15, 20 cents on a small stock scalp. And it's later in the day where options are relatively tighter after 2 o'clock. You could obviously see the value in the strategy. Now, that's a small example. I'll just be fair and honest. That is a small example. What you didn't know, ladies and gentlemen, was on Mongo, the trade that I lost $300 on today. And you see, I'm not even going to show you the chart of the stock I made, you know, $1,800 on. I'm not even going to show you that chart because I don't care. It's not the point of the strategy. I'm not here to show you, why, all the good and, subtract all the bad. I'm here to show you what you can learn for tomorrow to apply. It's not about what I did well today or what I didn't do well today. It's about how can you do better in the future. And if you keep that mentality like me, I promise you, you are going to be in very good shape. So I'm just going to pull up Mongo here for you real quick, ladies and gentlemen. And this was the other name, and then I'll show you Autozone momentarily. That was three names that gapped up today. And I'm just going to move, we're going to move that chart all the way back down. I was trying to move my face. Well, he's getting me in trouble, that face of mine. All right, let's remove my face here for a second. Okay. So if you look on the right-hand side right here, you can see right over here, this is the negative 50 line. It says like negative 50 next to it. We'll just draw it like this. This strategy only works the first time the negative 50 level breaks. And you could see the negative 50 level broke for the first time. Right, let's just look at the real chart so we know. The negative 50 bar broke and held for the first time right over here at 10:55. This was the first time. The previous candle says negative 47.21. If you see on the top left side, this candle hit negative 63.90. This candle between 10:50 and 10:55 a.m., all of this is done on a 5-minute chart, please keep in mind, was the candle that broke. Now let me show you this. So this right here, I'm just going to zoom in for you to make it easy to see. So as we know, is the 1050 to 1055 candle. This was the candle right here where the strategy begins to set up. This is, I'm going to just lower the font. First time candle breaks and closes below negative 50. Okay. Very, very simple, right? So what you're doing at this point is after you have obviously the name, we are watching, at Mongo, which is MDB, where we have the Kaufman efficiency ratio on the 5-minute chart, and we waited for the stock to close at a candle of negative 50 or less. Next is step 4. We're buying through the next 5-minute candle, which breaks a prior 5-minute candle high. And if you see right over here, let's get that face only a mother could love up. And if you see right over here, you're just basically looking for the next break of the 5-minute candle. So you could see after this close, the next candle that you're actually looking for is right over here. This would be, whoa, whoops, let's make that much smaller. This would be the next candle you were looking at here. Didn't break, right? Here's the next candle you were looking at. Didn't break the top of the prior candle. But candlestick 3, that was the money shot right there because that candlestick did break. This green candlestick right over here, this candlestick did break the prior candlestick high. And it did it. We'll use blue as our entry here, right over. Can I get a thinner line here? Maybe. Here, maybe a pencil. Here. You can see right over here. Whoops. Right over here. Whoops. God, I can't draw for the life of me. Right over here was your entry. And right over here was your stop. So you're basically using this number 2 candle here as your entry and stop, but you're buying on the green candle on the way up. And if you did that on Mongo today, right over here is the candle, which we were zooming in on. You would have been buying through 133.35 with a stop of 132.26, no exceptions. So you would have been risking $1.09 on a Mongo, which again is, what was the range on this stock today? It was kind of, huge. It's not just a normal name, obviously. There was a $18.52 range, just to put things in perspective today for risking $1 on a name like this. And if you don't want to risk $1, you see it ahead of time what you're risking. But nonetheless, if you bought there, it opened up at the bottom of the candle, you were down money 0% of the time on the trade. You were never down money for a second. And that's a very positive thing. I know when I'm in a trade and I buy something, I like to be up money right away. It's a damn good feeling. I hope you feel the same way. Breaks through 133.35. Use a 1-to-1 risk reward. I tell people this all the time. It's 85% effective. 85% effective. So if you're up $1.09, take $1.09. In 10 minutes, this stock shot up $2.47. I'm saying you can extract $1.09 or better out of that. And always look to make equal or more than your risk. Your risk is always the bottom of the candle. Isn't that amazing? People don't know this is one of the biggest up moves Mongo had at that point of the day. I know it sounds pathetic because it fell hard. This is the trade I should have been doing on Mongo today. Now, let's look at Autozone next. Now, Autozone is another name. It's $1,000 name. I wouldn't have traded this name, but as I said, I'm not cherry picking. I'm not going to cherry pick what I want you to see. I'm going to show you every name that had normal volume like that gapped up. And you can see right here, here's the negative 50 level on AutoZone. There's the negative 50. It never hit. The lowest it got to was negative 46.21. So the strategy never set up at all on AutoZone. It never told you to buy it. Now I know I only showed you 2 names, but there's a video that shows the names from the other week in which it worked 85.7% of the time on. Not only that, tomorrow we're walking into at least 2, hopefully 2 gap ups, likely 2 gap ups because Ali is gapped up after hours, Ali's bargain outlet. You have to name your son Ali, which is another interesting thing. And Dave & Buster's is gapped up a little at the moment. Not only that, tomorrow we have other names that haven't reported yet. American Eagle Outfitters, AEO. That's a big enough company to do this on. That's big enough. Children's Place, they're reporting. UNFI, United Natural Foods, they're reporting. Vera Bradley, they're reporting. Now, what if I told you right now that I would put your odds of success of making money tomorrow at 85% or better if you did nothing but this strategy that I told you. Nothing but this strategy that I told you. And listen carefully to what I'm about to share with you now because I want to get into, I shared with you earnings names that gapped up for the AK50. THO actually didn't gap up. Oops. So much for that. So obviously wouldn't apply to that. But I want to share with you my final, God, a capital I. I want to share with you my final psychological thoughts on your success as a trader here because I think it is imperative that you hear what I'm about to tell you. In order to be a day trader, your financial capital is absolutely critical. Of course, money is money, and money buys stuff and makes people happy and funds your account. And if you do not have money in your account, you're out of the game completely. You're no longer a day trader. However, what I want to show you is that money is a byproduct of the great game of trading once you're able to master these very simple things. Your psychological capital is the essence of the person you are, not only as a trader, but as a human being. The number one rule of trading is to preserve your psychological capital, because if you do that, the financial capital comes pouring in. This means making yourself emotionally, mentally, physically, and spiritually strong and healthy when it comes to trading. I want you to stand apart from yourself. As I say to people all the time, look at yourself in the mirror, look at yourself with a critical eye, almost as if you were advising someone else what to do, how to trade, maybe even how to live. When you are able to remove yourself from yourself, you literally take yourself from inside and you remove yourself from yourself. That's the best way I could explain it when you look at yourself in the mirror. You're actually minimizing the emotional charge. And since emotions are often the greatest enemy of traders, you then put yourself in a neutral position where you could stand objectively and look at yourself. You allow the newer thinking portions of your brain to put the older, primitive, dopamine driven brain into perspective. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is really the most difficult journey you have as a trader. Your psychological capital is all you really have at the end of the day. You can go out and earn more money. You can turn money over to someone else to manage, or you can stop trading and try a new activity. You have an infinite number of choices of what to do here with your money, but you only have one body, one mind, and one real spirit. And when you're stressed, when you're sleep deprived, contaminated with continual worrisome thoughts, or in a toxic state because of bad trades, junk food, take it from me, ladies and gentlemen, I eat more McDonald's at one point in my life than anyone you've ever met. Unpleasant environment or dysfunctional relationships, you have nothing but despair, self loathing, anger, depression. You're in a state of mental and physical disease and whipsaw. And you should absolutely not be trading at that point, as somebody mentioned in the room earlier. In the end, if you lose your health, you're going to lose everything. Money's not going to, you know, do anything for you. It might be able to slightly comfort this misery, somewhat like putting a bandage on a large gaping wound. However, the wound then, of course, eventually breaks open, becomes infected, and gets systemically worse unless you're really dealing with the source of it. And as always, you have the power to be the best you can in every aspect of life. It's really quite awesome when you think about it. Ladies and gentlemen, when it comes to trading, let me be clear on one thing. You are the problem. You are the solution. You are both of them. Find the freedom and serenity that accrue to you when you refurbish and restore your psychological capital. If you want to get a true picture of who you really are, what you're capable of doing and becoming as a trader and a human being, then stop looking outside of yourself. Go within. I promise you all the answers are there, and it will be the most amazing journey of your life. I hope you guys enjoyed this Newsbeat show. If you're interested in 3 more days of the free open house, there's a link in the description. Happy trading, make money, and I will see you guys tomorrow on the Newsbeat live trading broadcast. Have a wonderful evening.